That's a good one. That's really good. That's really good. Good morning to you, and welcome back to today's JRPG Weekly Update. It's Saturday morning. Are you hyping responsibly? Guys, we got a lot of news to get through, but before we do, I'd just like to pat myself on the back and say, hey, we have successfully done 3 of these in a row over the last 3 weeks. I'm feeling really good. I think we're going to keep this up. So get subscribed so you don't miss any, because we're going to go over all the JRPG news that matters. Starting with some delays and delistings. We've got some content for Shin Megami Tensei 5, the original SMT V, all downloadable content including Return of the True Demon, A Goddess in Testing, The Rage of a Queen, The Doctor's Last Wish, Mitama's Dance series, and Safety Difficulty are all being delisted from the various platforms where they are currently available ahead of the release of Shin Megami Tensei V Vengeance on June 14 of 2024 for multiple platforms including PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. So you have just a short while left to acquire these if you want them. Now we also have a delay, and this comes in the form of Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus for the Nintendo Switch. Originally it was released in the West for PlayStation 4 and PC back in 2017. Its new release date is now July 25th of 2024, delayed from this June. Just another month to wait, but I'm sure that it'll all be worth it in the long run. Moving on to some game announcements, we've got Serial World from developer Serial Project, which is a 2-member Japanese indie studio that was formed back in 2023. The game will be coming to PC via Steam in 2025, and it supports both Japanese and English languages. So this is a comedic yet serious RPG and deck builder. Follows a boy named Milo and Anima solving town mysteries, and apparently it'll involve some strategic battles where you can summon 3 anima with unique personalities and skills, and then you can evolve those anima during combat. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. I've probably got the trailer going. It looks kind of interesting, kind of like a more comedic take on a Pokemon sort of idea. I'm gonna keep my eyes out on this one. I think the art style is neat. It looks like they're straight out ripping off the Mario font, but whatever. That's not for me to care about. Another game here called Witch and Lilies. This is what the developer calls a Yuri RPG, which is a first-person dungeon crawling RPG featuring Yuri characters, apparently. So it's entering early access here on May 24th this year on PC via Steam. It is a romantic kind of RPG, 10 unique job classes, and from what I hear, the demo has got some people pretty excited. If you're into including some RPG mechanics in your dating sim or some dating sim mechanics in your RPGs, then this one might be up your alley. The next one that I wanted to talk about though is called Fields of Mistria, which is also getting a early access release date here from NPC Studio. It's coming out for early access on August 5th of 2024 to PC via Steam. It's going to be a pretty inexpensive title, only about $14 or so. A game that's inspired by the designs of Naoko Takeuchi, which is the artist or the mangaka behind Sailor Moon. And it features over 50 crops, animal raising, blacksmithing, cooking, crafting. Yes, it's one of those sorts of, Harvest Moon-y sort of games. Harvest Moon meets Sailor Moon? Interesting. Now, we finally also got a release date announced for Reynatis. I hope I'm saying that right, which is kind of the, what was the word that Baku used? Tuny? Yeah, a tuny sort of atmospheric urban RPG set in a realistic recreation of Shibuya, Tokyo, where the ultimate clash between magic and order is about to unfold. It's coming out on PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and PC via Steam on September 27th of this year, and we also got a trailer with that. Moving on to some SuperDerek news. Last week on Hit Point, Baku and I talked about the whole craziness that is Xbox, its layoff of Tango Gameworks, and some of the fallout that has happened as a result of that, and I'm not going to bother pointing out the Fallout pun. I already did. I can't help it. It's a disease, guys. There was a lot of various discussions going on in that deep dive. A bunch of other games that wouldn't necessarily fall under the JRPG category that I definitely wanted to touch on there. I also released a video talking about 10 RPGs that I would recommend as great entry points for beginners to the genre, as well as 5 that I would advise that you avoid, at least for now, until you get a little more experience under your belt, so to speak. This is a video that I've been working on for a long time. A lot of work went into it, and it's kind of taken off a little bit, and I'm very pleased with how it's performing. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you go check it out. I know a lot of y'all here are not beginners, but, you know, gotta feed that YouTube algorithm. But moving along, I wanted to talk about some interesting rumblings within the rumor mill, and may even be the title of this week's episode, which is that there might be a new NieR title in the works. This is a little bit of a stretch. It's what makes it rumor mill material, but in an interview with Famitsu, Hiroyuki Kobayashi, which is a former Capcom developer, and Yosuke Saito indicated that they're working together with Yoko Taro on a new, yet-to-be-announced title. Each of these people have one thing in common, and that is that they have worked together on a NieR title in the past. So there's not any indication yet if this yet-to-be-announced project is another NieR title or even NieR-related at all, but given that they've all worked together on NieR in the past, it seems possible, even likely, potentially. It's hard to say, but I'll let you know as more news develops. Now, moving on, I wanted to talk a little bit about some industry news. A couple of bombshells happened this week that I don't know if they're good or bad, and I kind of want your thoughts, especially on this first one, which is that PlayStation now has a power couple CEO. That is Herman Hulst, who is the CEO of Studios, and then Hideki Nashino. And this is my first time bringing up a question of the week. We're bringing it back, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on PlayStation's new CEO? I mean, I think Baku and I are probably going to deep dive this during this episode of Hit Point this weekend. I know that there are some people who weren't a huge fan of Jim Ryan before, especially in the RPG space. Yeah, I guess that's the question. What's your vibe? Moving along though, Square Enix has continued to have updates as it relates to their most recent letting everybody know that they canceled a bunch of stuff that was unreleased, resulting in the loss of, millions of dollars. That was just kind of the start, though, because they also released a financial update that shows that while their net sales increased by about 3.8%, their operating income decreased by like 26%, which is a lot. There's just a whole lot of fallout that resulted from this. They say that a lot of this has to do with, canceling a lot of those games or those projects. There's no indication of whether those projects that were canceled or not were NFT related or blockchain technology related or whatever. They say that this has to do with a few factors, high development costs these days and advertising costs and losses from the terminated development projects. So as a result, they're shifting around a little bit in what they're calling like a strategic realignment. They're trying to shift apparently from quantity to quality and optimize their portfolio a bit, balance between unique and imaginative games and a market-driven development. But it's really a lot of like corporate speak. Like, what does any of that actually mean? So, they say that they're going to try and focus on unique experiences and that they're streamlining their internal development, and improving efficiencies and synergies and all of that. But what does it mean? Well, we have a couple of things that are actually solid, which is that they will now be pursuing multi-platform pretty aggressively across both Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, which could be good. Hopefully that means that, PC is a huge growing market, and to see them coming out on PC more frequently, that might do them some good, especially if they can't put a lot of their PlayStation 5 stuff on PS4 because the PS4 is too weak, but they can't put it on Xbox. I feel like PC opens them up to a lot of new opportunities because they clearly have a knack for making demanding games, and there just aren't that many platforms that people have available to them that can run those demanding games. That's my hot take right now, is that the PS5 hasn't sold as much as it needs to be the main focus for them at this point. But then again, PlayStation should be footing the bill for, that exclusivity, right? But it does seem like Square has acknowledged through this that there's a problem and that they are attempting to address it. And I just hope that at the end of the day that what they're doing addresses a lot of the concerns that we players, fans of RPGs have, and aren't just trying to pivot harder into a direction that is away from us, their core, But in the meantime, it does look like they're preparing to do a lot of layoffs here. Employees in their Western markets, US and Europe, particularly those in the publishing industry and IT and indie divisions. So if you were a fan of that power washing sim game that they did, I'd be sweating a bit. It's just kind of an uncertain future at this point. But hey, that's the news as it relates to JRPGs as I see it. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, come hell or high water. Have a great day, everybody.